If there is a message for us today, I believe it is to learn to live from our heart in love. These short lessons, hopefully, will help to inspire you to live with purpose, love passionately, and inspire others. We are the change agent our world needs. I'm Helen Toews. Step into the river today with me to explore the mysteries of God. They are not hidden from us, but for us to discover. Right. I really am quite excited about this fall. Lots and lots of stuff happening, and um, I'm not going to get into some of that tonight. And I'm grateful. So I'm just going to start by saying what we just talked behind the scenes about, and then set up our season. Our new method of operation is going to be that we're going to record and post the message, but we aren't going to post the conversation with what we call the Hollywood squares afterwards, because then it gives us a just a little bit more ability to speak personally. And anyway, that's where we've landed, and I think it's a really good decision. I know Bobby's on tonight, and he feels the same way as well. I'm really excited about this season. I'm excited at conversations I've had with some of you over the summer. Some of the just realizing the fact how like-minded we are, and where we've come to, where we feel that we're going. And I'm kind of glad that we're going to be able to have these conversations, or we'll have these conversations after the messages on Wednesday night. It's night here, almost in on Lake of the Woods, but and I know that some of you are morning, or goodness, middle of the night if you're with Maggie. Anyway, yeah, I don't even want to start talking about anything, because I will be tempted to go into it. But I just want to say, for the next 3 weeks right now, what I feel really encouraged to do, as I'm trying to establish us in a place where we can run with some of the things that we're learning, some of the things that are on our hearts, with that we can have just a basic foundation for some things that are updated from. I look back at how many years we've been together, and it's been quite a journey, and lots has changed. We've gone it's almost like we're reading a new book, reading the same book, but reading a new book. And a lot of our lives are going into a real depth of intimacy with the Lord, and a depth of understanding. We all are familiar using that term rather than understanding. And I just see what's coming up as a release into the mystic, and the mystical, and how we will actually operate from a place that is within us right now to do, but we don't really have, maybe for some of us, the courage to step out in things, or I think what we're going to do is have times to unpack some of the questions that we've had, that will release us into a brand new stage in our lives together, and certainly as individuals spiritually. What I want to do is I want to take the tagline from the River 474, and as you all probably know, it is to live with purpose, love passionately, and inspire others. When we started the Zoom, and God bless COVID because he got us all together from all over the world. It's been really kind of interesting, hasn't it? That I felt I had to put out a value statement of some kind so that people, because what does the River 474 really tell you, right? So I'm going to take those three components because those three components really are my personal value statements. And I've had them for years. And because the first one, live with purpose. When I think about living with purpose, it really is a real heart purpose that I think about. And I used to talk about it out of Habakkuk 2:2, where it says, stand on the rampart, or, stand and watch and see what the Lord would say. Write the vision, make it clear so those who see it can run with it. And I thought that was a really good way to understand how to live with purpose, because it really is very clear in its instruction. But as I was sitting and thinking, I think I have come to a new place with so many things, and one of them is living with purpose. And tonight I want to unpack that a little bit. So I want us all to just imagine for a minute that we are doing a deep clean in our kitchen cupboards. Some of mine really need it. And when you do that, some of the spaces are so full, you've had no idea what's hiding in them. And if you're one of these super tidy people, don't tell me about it, because I've got some spaces that have been so full. I have found things like that are dated 1915, the crazy kind of stuff. And you look, well, is it too early to throw these out? Yeah, get rid of everything. Anyway, you may have some old cups and bowls and cans and containers that are on the counter now. You've taken everything out and you have no idea what you want to keep or how you want to put them back in. And sometimes that's what we have to do to find out how our living with purpose. But our living with purpose is putting these back in some kind of order. We need to know what we would keep, what we'd put aside, what isn't useful. And if you don't have purpose at that time, it's a good bet that you'll only go back and put everything where you started and end up with another organized chaos, as it were. And there's simple questions that we might ask. Do I want to keep this? Or why do I want it? What would be most useful? Give away, keep, garbage? It's all up to you. Do you know the purposes in our life have those questions as well? Yet sometimes we just keep on going because it's routine or it's something that we've always done. But my challenge tonight is to take a real look, and we're going to take a broader look at what purpose is as well. It's not as simple as deciding on keeping a cup or plate. Our life purpose goes beyond daily tasks and surface level goals. We know that. Our life purposes connect us to who we are, what we do, aligns our talents, our passions, our values. Definitely, it's not just a decision of where the plates should be stored. When we live for purpose, our actions are not random. They flow from an inner clarity that infuses even ordinary moments with meaning. Purpose is the guiding reason for being. It's the why. It's the why behind what we do. It's the deeper meaning that directs our actions, decisions, and goals. Our life purpose is not just about achieving something external, like finishing a puzzle, right? Nor is it like Sir Edmund Hillary's reply when he conquered Mount Everest. I love that word. He climbed it, but he conquered Mount Everest. And when he was asked, why did you climb the mountain? His answer was, because it was there. And as much as I love that answer, I would love to sit and talk to him and ask him why and how he actually came up with that. I know for myself, there's a huge difference between sitting down to a puzzle and the challenge of finding the pieces that fit together. The questions I ask myself go a bit deeper into my conscious choices in life now. Life is definitely a bit more than a puzzle piece or organizing a cupboard, but our thoughts have to start somewhere. This value statement that was birthed from having to determine the River 474 was important, and I saw it differently years ago. Firstly, I have to ask what my personal values are. If I live from an external source, somebody else's tagline like Nike, just do it, or I quote from another writer, or like even using sacred, or inspirational books, it wouldn't come from my heart in the same way. So for me, living with purpose is about alignment with my personal values, passions, sorting out the goals that I might have so I can have a clear inner standing for myself. I will ask other questions like, why am I here at this place? Why is this happening? What impact do I want to make? And does my purpose connect to something larger than myself? When I'm clear about my purpose, I experience greater fulfillment, greater resilience, and direction. It's like tidying up your mind a little bit. Because without purpose, I felt scattered or sometimes just empty at times. Sometimes things get just too much. And so you just blank. Or you go into chaos and then you're going round and round. And I found out that with purpose, even challenges can become meaningful stepping stones towards growth, and then it will contribute to the success or lack thereof of a project or a situation. So to live with purpose is a part of the compass that orients my life toward meaning and to give greater contribution and alignment with who I am. I see purpose as my soul's agreement with life. It's a deeper current beneath my existence. It guides me to remember who I am, and it helps me to embody that truth in my life journey. It's private for the most part. Actually, it's private. to say it for the most part is not enough. I am a very private person. My own intentions is the journey of my soul in the secret place. And I've also learned that there's a safe place in that secret place. And it's not that you don't want to share your purpose with anybody. It's just that I've found that if you share it with many, sometimes it loses its purpose because input starts coming in, especially from, good buddies that you're walking with and family and besties. But I like the private part. It's a place that you can take your purpose and nurture it. Purpose is less about what I achieve and more about awakening and expressing my own essence. It's a decision to live from love, light, unity, and what I can unpack in that. In that I'm trying to find the words for it. When I live from that life, light, and unity, I need to unpack that for myself before it becomes an expression outward. I'm learning that purpose is already woven into the fabric of my being. And it's like a seed that carries the full pattern of what it'll become. Purpose is like an acorn We have tons of them on the ground right here on the lake. And you know, an acorn holds the potential of the mature oak tree. When I discover these new patterns, things become clearer and they give me courage to go forward with aspects of my life that I haven't tackled yet. From this perspective, purpose is not something I invent, it's something I uncover. The amazing thing for me is that that it's um, as well as purpose, it's to be aware of my own desire to live with purpose. And when I do that, especially in that secret place in the quiet, it becomes a huge stepping stone to living from my sacred self. Each person here on this call or listening has purpose. Each purpose is unique, yet we all flow together in the unfolding of divine consciousness in humanity as well as the earth itself. When I realize that I'm only responsible for my part, I can let go of burdens that are not mine to carry. So defining purpose is wonderful. It has different viewpoints than it used to. For instance, aligning with my spiritual purpose, life feels less like a struggle and more like a dance. It has infinite possibilities of the universal consciousness. These are terminologies that are becoming very, not common, but very dear to us as we expand in what we're learning. I feel freer to explore so much more, especially the mysteries. Challenges become invitations that guide me now deeper into authenticity and compassion. And in this way, purpose isn't not about just doing something, it's about being. It's not just a practical understanding to facts. I'm learning that when we recognize our spiritual purpose as well, that it's the soul's deeper reason for being becomes a soul issue. Purpose is the ultimate inner alignment with divine consciousness that guides us to live as love, live as light, live in truth. It's not something to be created, but it's something to be remembered. It's something that we uncover and express through our unique gifts in service to our world. So how's it accomplished? I think it's still good to review Habakkuk 2:2. But when I let go of the formula of what I looked at that we had been learning and positioning ourselves, now I realize that it is more. And now I simply say, purpose is by intent. Purpose and intent are very close siblings. Purpose and intent are closely related because intent is the inner drive behind an action, while purpose is the broader meaning that the action serves. So here's where I see it at the moment. Purpose gives the why, intent gives the how. Together, they ensure that actions are both meaningful and deliberate. I want to share from a book that I read this summer and one that I highly recommend. It's Wayne Dyer's book called The Secrets of the Power of Intention. It took my understanding to a new level. I had been meditating and had asked if purpose and intention work together. Isn't it funny how you ask these questions and then you read a book from your library that has been sitting there in your I'm going to read it sometime section? And here this book gave me keys, not even just to my phrase, live with purpose, but it expanded what I'd been living from in developing intention practices that I've become familiar with. And I know those of you who are in the room tonight are familiar with them too. I hope this will really encourage you. In his book, Dr. Wayne Dyer describes intention as a force in the universe that allows the act of creation to take place. I had to read that more than once. Intention is a force in the universe that allows the act of creation to take place. It explores intention as we are familiar with and further amplifies it as an energy that we're already part of. So let's think about that. I thought that if this is truly energy, like if intention is truly an energy that we are already part of, then there's an ease of function for me, and I awaken to some new possibilities of understanding. The reality is, we're all intended here through the invisible power of intention. In simple terms, our Creator, the source of all, God, created us by intent. God is the source where all intention exists. See, we have our desires and set in intentions, but sometimes we forget that that intention has come from God Himself, and that He's the source where all intention exists. That reality took me from limited understanding of my intent and desire to understanding that God is all of anything, is already all of everything that I could desire. You might be sitting there thinking, well, isn't that what we do? Yeah, I really, if that is what you've already been doing, then bless you. It has come a full circle for me to understand that the God who has created me had an intent. He had an intention. He had already created everything that I could desire. And when I realized that, when I realized that we're created in the same image and likeness in the source of God, and that our reality then is the intention, then it's already part of us as well. I knew that, and I guess I'm just sharing how the penny dropped again for me. I hadn't fully understood. I hadn't fully have the understanding in it. I want to invite us to look at intention as a field of energy, and that we create our life from the power of energy. We are one. We are I am. And I still had been separating parts of what I thought I understood. I was listening to a speaker who was being interviewed by someone who said a term that we've all heard and said ourselves. We are co-creators with God. He was stopped when he said that, and he said, actually, we do not co-create, we create. And I went, whoa, okay, I want to think about this. So I took a moment and I asked myself, where did we start saying co-create? It's not wrong in a sense, but in the sense of oneness, we're not separated. We know that we often in our language separate ourselves, even in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, we separate in our thinking. We're here, God's another place. But when you think of that, I just took that statement and I thought, we don't co-create, we create. When we realize that we are one with God, that He is in us, we are in Him, and therefore, in essence, because we're together, we co-create. But in the oneness, I realized I needed to get my heart and my mind into that place of the oneness of I am, so that I would understand that I create. Intention, as a universal force, is an invisible energy that flows throughout all creation. We don't create intention, rather, we connect with it. Let's think about one more thing. We are the creation of the Creator. The power of intention exists in us already. Dr. Dyer identifies the attributes of the all-creating universal mind of intention, and I call it God, as creative, kind, loving, beautiful, expanding, endlessly abundant, and receptive. And what he does is simply expand on the attributes of God, and in so doing, he explains the importance of us emulating this source of creativity. He sees God as good and unconditional in love. Sometimes we forget that God is good. You know, because some of us have grown up with so many conditions to his love, and the feeling of having to do something to have his pleasure. But God is good all the time, and he is unconditional in love. Intention is something that we live from in practice, but it is also who we are. It's an energy field that exists everywhere, and when you align with it, you tap into infinite possibilities, infinite creativity, infinite guidance that already exists in the universe. The difference between willpower and intention, for instance, because so often we have been establishing our intention by our willpower. And yet, willpower can be forcing things to happen through effort and control. Intention is aligning with the flow of universal energy so that life that has already been created moves through us, with us. When we live by willpower alone, things feel heavy and resistant. When we live through intention, knowing everything is already in existence, things feel lighter, synchronistic, and supported. Qualities of the field of intention, Dr. Dyer explains as having attributes like kindness, love, creativity, beauty, abundance, expansion, receptivity. And do you know, when we embody these qualities, we harmonize with the field and life unfolds effortlessly. Therefore, this being true, the converse is true as well. And this is something that it kind of rocked my world for a while. When we embody the qualities of being unkind, fearful, destructive, just ugly, believing in lack, it limits and shuts off all that is good. And when we live from those attributes, our lives will reflect what we believe and choose. Dr. Dyer made a powerful statement. He said, if God, who is unconditional love and good, embodied the above, the list I just said, unkind, fearful, destructive, and had limits, if he embodied that, he would cease to exist because he has none of those attributes. That to me was a very powerful thought. God only knows love only knows his unlimited, unjudgmental caring for us. So let's go deeper in our purpose that's already embedded in the field of intention. It's not something we invent, but it's something we discover by connecting to the source, connecting to the field, to God himself, to Christ consciousness. There's so many terms for the same thing. When we are aligning with intention, it naturally brings us into harmony with our life's purpose and who we are. To live intentionally, we know we practice gratitude and we practice seeing abundance everywhere. When we live intentionally, we need to choose thoughts that align with love rather than fear. So our thoughts can't be, God, can't you see I don't have? Can't you see I have lack? Choosing thoughts that align with love rather than fear. To live intentionally, we have to trust. We have to know that the universe, that God is supportive and he is good. He's benevolent. To live intentionally, we release resistance. Any resentment, anger, fear. When you do that, we remain receptive. And our purpose will become our personal intent, which is the unique expression of that creative energy. When we live in alignment with intent of how we're created for good and not evil, we fulfill our purpose naturally. If we understand our purpose as only a personal decision, like cleaning the cupboards and putting the dishes back in, or motivation that directs an action, if we focus only on our individual will, for instance, I intend to exercise more, personal goal that you choose and act, it will depend on your own effort and discipline. If you get distracted or lose willpower, the intent weakens and often disappears. When our understanding of intention by definition is that it's a universal field of energy and a creative force in the universe that we align with, there is no forceful action on our part. When we believe that it is our connection to source, we will simply say things like, I live in harmony with the field of intention, so my body naturally aligns with health. Our connection in God allows us to live from a flow that supports our action beyond willpower. It's not just what we decide, it's what happens when we tune in to the energy of love, when we tune into abundance, creativity, and receptivity that already exists. When our personal intent aligns with the universal field of intention, then purpose unfolds naturally. Actions become supported and life flows with synchronicity. So in summary, every action begins with purpose. A thought, a decision to move in a certain direction. Purpose is personal. It arises from our decisions, our will, and what we focus on. Yet purpose alone often feels like it's pushing a heavy wheelbarrow uphill. It takes discipline, it takes effort, and sometimes it fades or becomes impossible when obstacles arise. So beyond personal purpose lies a greater force, the field of intention. This universal energy is the creative pulse of life itself. It flows with kindness, with love, with beauty and abundance. When we align our personal purpose, our personal intent with this field, our actions stop feeling forced. Instead, they unfold with ease, as though carried on a current that was always waiting for us to uncover. So here is the reflection prompt for you. we're going to go into a guided meditation that will align our purpose and intent with the universal field of intention. But I want you to ask yourself, is my purpose, my personal intent, aligned with the qualities of universal intention? If it comes from love rather than fear, from generosity rather than lack, creation rather than resistance, then you are not pushing your intention. You are allowing the greater flow of life to move through you, and you will manifest your desire because it's already been created for you from the beginning. So let's just take a deep breath together. I'm actually going to put some music on in the background. Let me see. Yeah. Kathy, I'm going to turn off my video. Feel free to turn off all your video. I'm not going to bring us into the Hollywood Squares. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to start this music. Kathy is...
We can hear it.
Okay. All right. This is a meditation that aligns our purpose and intent with the universal field of intention. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. Be in a comfortable position. Just adjust anything that you need to. Take that breath. Feel the air entering your lungs and expanding your chest. Then exhale gently, letting your body soften. Be aware of your shoulders. Are they relaxed? Your hands, are they open? With each breath, allow yourself to come to that place of rest. Imagine your spine, entire body at rest. Whether you are sitting up or laying down, imagine yourself, if you're on the ground, sinking into the earth. Maybe you're on a sandy beach. Allow yourself just to sink in. Feel the stability and nourishment of the ground supporting you. Just keep breathing regularly in rest. Bring into mind right now one simple purpose in your life. Something that you desire to create, maybe experience, or embody. Hold it gently in your awareness. It might be health, peace, love, or a new beginning. Just whisper it inwardly. Just the word that you're embracing. Now imagine above you and all around you a vast field of light. Radiant, boundless, filled with love, with creativity, with kindness, abundance. This is the universal field of intention. See your personal intent resting within this field. This intention is like a seed placed in fertile soil. Inwardly say, I release any struggle. I align my intent with the field of intention. I trust the energy of creation to guide and support me. Feel your seed glowing. Nourished by this field, it has already begun to grow. Sit in quiet openness now. Allow yourself to feel supported. Notice any sensations of lightness, peace, or expansion. This is alignment. This is not your responsibility to try and figure out timing or the process of your intent. Just allow it to come. Shift your thoughts to gratefulness. Let it become your knowing. You know it is done. Now, when you're ready, take a deep breath. Place your hands over your heart and affirm, my intent is one with the field of intention. I am guided. I am supported. I am at peace. I am grateful. Now, when you're ready, gently open your eyes and carry this alignment into your day or into your night.